Okay, I have two kids, and you already said I'm from New York. But so I have two kids. I have a son who's 12 and a daughter who's going on 9. And I started homeschooling. I kind of came from a background of, I knew people who homeschooled just because of other groups I'm in. And I kind of come from a crunchy sort of background, but so I knew other families that had homeschooled, so it didn't seem out of the realm of possibility for me ever. But I also come from a family with a lot of educators in it, so I hadn't really thought about it too much. But then we moved back to New York. We were living in Virginia, and when we moved back to New York, the New York City school system, it just kind of freaked me out a little bit. It's pretty intense. There are good private schools and good public schools, but it's kind of a rat race to get into the good schools. It depends on where you live. There's a big application process. And also, my son was super attached to me, and it really, I'd come from a background where I respected that attachment, and I didn't want to force him to do something that he didn't want to do. And then as it's evolved, it came from the perspective of not wanting to force him to do something, but now it sort of turned into I'm really happy that it's the choice that I made. Not because I think schools are bad, or not because of anything, I don't have any animosity towards, I have a little animosity towards the school system, but not really. I'm not like deep-seated, like I had a horrible experience or anything. I had a great experience. But I'm glad that I do it now, because I see how it's really flexible. We can go away. Sometimes my kids have gotten to have really amazing travel experiences that we might not have been able to do if they had to adhere to the school calendar. They get to a certain extent, they get to choose what they want to do. They have a lot of choice in what they like to do. And it just really works for our family. I think that's the key for us, is that we are all really happy, and that, not all the time, I mean, there are mornings when there's rough patches and stuff, but in the long run, it really has worked out really well. And just in terms of what we do, like what sort of homeschooling we do, we belong to 2 co-ops with some other families that we're good friends with. And those kind of evolved out of playgroups. So it started out as just our kids kind of hanging out together, and most of us have 2 children of a pretty much equal age difference. And then it sort of organically grew into each of us choosing classes to teach to the kids. And really a lot of that is just the things that we're interested in. So we have a musician who teaches music. I used to be a chef, so I do a lot of cooking with the kids. And I also do history, because I love history. So it's worked out really well. I mean, for us, it's a really, really good choice. So, and I don't know what we'll do going forward, but I'm hoping that we continue to homeschool, and I think it's a really nice thing. So if you're frightened, don't be scared. It's really great.
Awesome. And what are the ages of your children again?
12 and 9.
12
and almost 9.
12 and almost 9. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And Katie on the right, why did you choose homeschooling, and what are the ages of your children?
Sure. So I have a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old. We started homeschooling initially as a little bit of an experiment. So we had done pre-K in the public school, wanted to kind of see how that went, and it was okay, it wasn't terrible. But my daughter felt sort of left out, and there would be kids that would say they didn't want to play with her that day, or that kind of thing. And then we decided to homeschool for the next year and just kind of see which one we liked better. And she did much better with homeschooling. She got to study what she wanted to study. She was very into animals at the time. Somebody was organizing a class at a veterinary hospital. She was able to go and take a class and learn all about veterinary medicine, at a 6-year-old's sort of comprehension level, which was great. And it really was a lot of fun. And so we've just kept going. We kind of take year by year. And reevaluate every summer. How do we feel that homeschooling's been going? Is that what we want to do? And so far the answer has always been yes. And really just it works well for them. And we're in a co-op as well. And then we've done other things. My daughter did a Waldorf program that was once a week, which was great for her. She had a classroom setting, a small classroom setting. But she was able to do that and then have other activities with me at home. And I feel like it's really let them follow their own passions. My daughter wants to be a dancer. She wants to be on stage. She wants to be like, I don't know, things that I wouldn't want to do. But that's really her thing. It's what she really loves. And so it's really given her a chance to be able to do that and devote time to that I think she would have trouble doing if she were in a classroom setting, in a regular sort of school setting. She wouldn't have the time to go and dance for 6 hours a week and perform on the weekends and that kind of thing.
Awesome. And regarding like the future, right? So a lot of parents are concerned like, will my child be able to live a successful life, right? Will they be able to get into college? Will they be able to, become independent? So just like talking about the future, and either Katie can go first. But what are your thoughts on the future? The oldest is 12 on the left, the viewer's left, and the viewer's right, 10. What are your thoughts on college or going the future of your children's successful careers and lives? Because parents are concerned, I don't want my kid to become incompetent or become dependent on me until they're age 40, or we want them to become self-reliant, right? So what do you think about college or their successful independent careers?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. We've done some standardized tests. Some of it's things that the state tells us we have to do. Some of them, my daughter actually likes testing. I liked testing as a kid, so she seems to test well. I know it's weird, but I'm never worried about
tests. So
I've never worried about how they're doing because they've always tested really high. They're clearly learning what they need to learn. I'm not worried about getting into college or going to college or that kind of thing. I think they'll be able to go through the same process I went through when I was a public school kid, but in terms of applying to colleges and getting in and everything. And they build autonomy. They learn to do stuff on their own, and it's not really, I don't know, it's not something I'm terribly worried about because I see how they've grown. And I feel like we're along that path. We're debating with my daughter, like if she wants to go to high school or not, where she would want to go to high school, if she'd rather keep homeschooling. It's really sort of all open. I feel like it's opened doors for her, not closed them.
That's great.
Yeah, so do I. I feel like there are so many opportunities for high school students to go do really, really cool things that they might not necessarily be able to do unless you could afford to send them to some, just super expensive private school. Whereas with homeschooling, my son and my daughter can get, they get definitely a basic education, same as Katie. We're from New York, and in New York you do have to do standardized testing. And my kids have always done fine on that. So I'm not worried about them getting into college, but really honestly, what I really want for my kids is when they're adults, for them to be happy and have a satisfying career. So if they choose not to go to college and they'd rather pursue a trade or something like that, that's fine with me. But I think that was such an awesome way to put it, that it's open doors, not closed doors. Like my son, does so many different things, and he has the flexibility to do sports 5 days a week, and to things that he might not necessarily be able to do. And my daughter, Zoe. I think if my daughter were in school, she has a lot of questions and she talks a lot, and I think it's better that she's able. I think it's going to make her a stronger, confident adult woman to actually be able to express herself and have those questions out there. So, and that's really important to me. So I'm not afraid. But I expect that my kids will go to college. I hope that they will, and I hope that they want to. But also, if by being homeschoolers, if it gives them the latitude to take a year off in between high school and college, and not, and work or do something like that, then I think that's also great too. Not that you can't do that if you're in high school, in a regular school, but I feel like I came at it from a perspective that's, I'm not more open-minded, but I don't see things quite as black and white or like set in stone the way that you have to do things. So
That's awesome. So last question. First of all, thank you. The audience thanks you very much, and so do I, for sharing time of your life to share, your experiences with homeschooling and some of your philosophies there. So really, thank you very much. And the last part would be, what would be like a last 30-second message you could share with parents out there who are watching this in YouTube land, who are concerned with the current educational system and they're thinking about homeschooling and they don't have enough courage to begin, or they don't know how to begin starting a co-op or finding a co-op. Can you share maybe 30 seconds or a minute, just their final message that you can support them in their journeys also?
Do you want me to go first?
I can go.
Okay.
So my husband was not sold on it when I first said I would like to homeschool. And I think the very most important thing we did was just to say, let's just try it for a year. Just try it. Give it a try. If it doesn't work, we'll put her in school. That's fine. And to really give that a fair shot. Really give her a chance.
For us, I think it's kind of the same thing. I mean, people always say, so are you going to homeschool through high school? What are you going to do? What is your plan? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, we're just taking this year by year. And I think it's really important to think of it from that perspective. I mean, also everybody is scared when they first start. I mean, I was scared and my kids were little and I had never even had them in the school system. So I was really, really, really nervous. And at first you feel like you should have like a plan and and have your whole year planned out and know exactly what you're going to do, but you really don't have to. I mean, it really does come together. And I really liked the time, and I still do. I love the time that I have to just lie in bed and read books with my kids, or go to museums and do things that you really don't have time to do if your kids are in school. So if you're even thinking about it, at least give it a try, because it's not set in stone, it's not permanent. You're not going to permanently mess up your kid and make it so they can never go back into school, but chances are what you'll find is that you really enjoy it as a family and it's really something that you want to continue to do. That's been my experience. So don't be scared, because it's really fun, and you really get to spend a lot of time with your kid. And as a mother of a 12-year-old, I know, he's going to leave in 6 years and probably not move back in, but if you wanted to, that would be okay. But but it's nice time to have with your kids. So.
Well, thank you, ladies, very much again for your time. Time is a slice of our life, and I appreciate you, and the audience appreciate you sharing a slice of your life with us. So I will let you resume with your day. Thank you very much, and we'll chat again.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
Saturday, March 5th in San Jose. Doors open at 9 a.m. Come speak to the leaders and the innovators in the field of education. They'll answer questions like, what are agile learning centers? What is unschooling? How can my child learn to code? If I decide to homeschool, what type of curriculum is best? What is Act-On Academy? How about democratic schooling? What is 3D printing and the maker movement? How can we deal with bullies in school? And most importantly, how can I ensure success for my child in the 21st century? All of these questions and more will be answered. I hope you get your tickets, because they are limited, and once they're gone forever. We look forward to seeing you at this life-changing event on March 5th.
Hey, I just registered for the expo. Super excited. Yeah, I'll see you there.